What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, to discuss another episode of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season number 5, episode number 4, y'all. No, this is 7. It does not feel like it's been 7 episodes of Salt Lake City. The show has been good. I've enjoyed every episode of Salt Lake City. If you guys watch this video, not watch this video, but if you guys watch the episode, definitely get down in the comments or in the live chat and let me know what you guys thought about the episode. I thought it was a good episode. I think next week's episode is going to be even better than this week's episode. When we get to the second trip of the season. Booyah, biatch. Oh my God, Seth is hilarious to me. Hey, Penelope, how are you doing today? Yeah, you guys, but before we do get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And you guys, with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and discuss this episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, shall we? So, you guys, currently we are 55 subscribers away from the goal of 2,000 subscribers. So, thank you to everybody who is currently subscribed. Thank you to everybody who shared the videos and the channel. I appreciate you guys so much. Now let's get into this episode. So the episode, it picked up where the last one left off, right? And you guys remember the last one was with Whitney and Lisa going back and forth, right? I still believe that when it comes to Lisa, it's like, Lisa, you doing a whole lot for nothing, right? You're calling your investigator to look into this. It's like, it's easy just to say, Whitney, you're doing the most. Like, I would never do that to you. But instead, you're doing all this hooping and hollering. Then you're going to Justin talking about, she's a liar, Justin. She's a liar. Whitney is a liar. Like, oh my God, Whitney, you're gonna be like, when you see this, you're gonna be like, oh my God, Whitney, you're lying. Justin, your wife's a liar. Like, she's doing all of that, and it's like, okay, ma'am, calm down. And then for Justin is just saying, my wife's not a liar. I was like, I don't know if that's true, because then y'all have an affair with each other before y'all were in y'all of the marriages. So that don't mean your wife is 100% truthful either. But neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Now, what I will say is, Lisa went up to Justin and is going off on Justin. And Justin ain't said nothing to Lisa. So for John to then get all up in his face, I was like, wow, you're doing a lot, John. I get defending your wife, but why not grab your wife and say, hey, leave him alone. Let's just move. Let's go somewhere else. Let's do something else instead of coming at him, right? So then after that, we get a blessing from Mary. I was like, oh my God. So we just go from cussing each other out to blessing each other. Okay. So Mary does her blessing, and she asked for Lisa and Whitney to hold hands. I'm not holding hands with her. She's a liar. Like, don't lie on me. Well, you lied on me. Wait, well, like, oh my God. Both of them are unserious. And I thought it was hilarious to me. So then Justin once again says something to Lisa about calling his wife a liar. And John pushed the hell out of him. I was like, damn. He was like, get this guy away from me before I break his face. I was like, you know what, Justin? I really wouldn't be mad at you if you did bust him in the face, because, dude, I ain't said nothing to your wife. Well, yes, he did, right? But he just asked her, why are you calling my wife a liar? And you went banana ballistic. Like, dude, you doing the most. Like, maybe there is some truth to this. I don't know, but the way he is going, it's weird to me. Very, very weird. But that's it for the anniversary party. Like I said last week, I still think that that was weird that Angie is doing a Mob Wives themed anniversary party. Like, I don't know why you did that, but okay, if you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it, but not really. I'm just saying it because that's your party, and it ain't got nothing to do with me. But we will move on, you guys, to the next. So this episode, we got individual scenes with the ladies. So who do I want to get out the way first? Actually, let's get the two that I think are delusional out of the way, and that's gonna be Lisa and John. Like, I really feel like Lisa's delusional. So Lisa and John, I guess he went and got lunch or dinner for them, right? And they're sitting there talking. So they're talking about what happened at the party, right? And here's the thing, right? I'm all like I said earlier. It's nothing. I think I said it last week, and I think I said it earlier. There's absolutely nothing wrong with defending your wife. I don't have a problem with that. But Lisa was the one that got booked with Justin. It's not the other way around. So I don't really understand. I still don't understand the whole John thing. Why he jumped in. Now, if he, we'll talk about it as we get to it later in the episode, but I just don't get it, right? So Lisa is shocked at Justin's reaction. I was like, you can't be serious, right? You're not serious that you're upset about Justin's reaction when again, you came at him, not the other way around. I can see it if Lisa was sitting minding her business after she and Whitney had to go back and forth with each other, and Justin came up to her and said something to her. Then I would understand her saying, "I don't understand Justin's reaction," but you addressed Justin. Justin addressed you, so I don't get this. So then Lisa's like, if I wanted to do this to Whitney, I would have went to like GMA. I would have went here. I would have went there. I was like, girl, GMA, you really think that they were gonna have you on Good Morning America to talk about some stupid shit like this? No, absolutely not. Maybe Sherry Shepard, maybe at the time Wendy Williams, maybe let's think of some other shows like I want maybe some of those shows, right, where they talk about celebrity gossip and stuff like that. But Good Morning America, they don't delve in gossip. They give you the news that you can absolutely use in your day-to-day life. What is anybody gonna do with this shit about Whitney? And then I'm gonna talk about Whitney because it's like, girl, you're doing the most, but I don't know if you were trying to put a light on your business, but I don't know if it went the way that you wanted it to go, but it is what it is. So let's move on to Whitney. So we see Whitney and Justin. So Justin is pouring out the Vita tequila. He's pouring out everything that I guess the Barlows have gifted them. I was like, well, damn. I'm hoping it was gifted and y'all didn't pay for that shit because if you paid for it, at least give it to somebody that can use it. Because to waste it going down the sink, I think it's a little bit extreme. But Justin feels how Justin feels. I'm not gonna tell Justin to feel any type of other way. But I was like, wow. So Whitney feels as if what happened with Justin and John and Lisa was really a way for them to deflect. I was like, Whitney, deflection, baby. I don't know if I'm gonna go that far with deflection. I don't know. Now, do I think that when it comes to a hit dog will holler? I do think that that's what that was with Lisa. I really feel like that hit dog hollered and loudly, right? I'm not saying that she did it, but you done something behind the scene. You done something behind the scenes, and I think that's what that was. Because, like I said earlier, And I said last week, if you ain't did it, then it's easier to say, you know what, Whitney, girl, what you coming to me like? Like you could say, what are you coming to me like this for, Whitney? Like, I ain't done nothing to you. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, there are ways you can say and do things. You know what I'm saying? But Lisa went about it the wrong freaking way. But hey, it is what it is, right? But like I said, Whitney thinks it's a deflection. Do I agree with Whitney that it's a deflection? Not 100%. Maybe like 5% of me thinks it could be. What John did could have been a deflection, but I don't think that that was a deflection at all. But feel free to let me know what you guys think. And we will go ahead and move forward, you guys, to the next person. Now, what I will say with this episode is I don't expect this review to be long, and that's because this episode was pretty fillerish, if we will say. I think it was a filler episode, so I don't expect it to be a long review. So next person we'll go up to is Heather. So I'm gonna keep it real with you guys and be honest with you. There was one scene with Heather where I fell asleep. I was sitting right because I watched it today during my on my lunch break, and I went for a walk. I came back in and I tried to watch that scene, this one particular scene, and I went to sleep both times. And I was like, you know what? It ain't that important. And if it is, they'll let you know in the comment section whatever you missed. Now we see Heather. She's down at Beauty Lab, right? And and Brittany came down there. I was like, oh. I was like, when are we not going to see? Because I know that there's going to be a point where we don't see Brittany for quite a while. And then I think they said she'll come up towards the latter part of the season. And I'm ready to not see Brittany, honestly. So Heather was talking about what happened at Angie's party, right? But Heather is talking about the stuff that happened with Lisa and Whitney. That's not what was on Brittany's mind. I was like, you are a dingbat. Like, I ain't never saw a woman so digmatized. Actually, I have, but I don't. That's just, it's weird to me when you see women who are so mm, obsessed and centered around men. It's so weird to me. And that's how I feel when it comes to Brittany, right? But Brittany wanted to talk about the stuff with Aaron and with Jared. I was like, girl, girl, stand up. Please stand up for the love of God. Stand up. Stand up. Like, that's all I think about when it comes to Brittany is stand up, girl. Stand up straight and stand up tall and focus on your relationship with your daughters. Like, I think that's incredibly weird that you don't have a relationship with your daughters, but yet instead you focus so much on this relationship with this man. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Like, I think that's weird. Like, I really think that that's weird that you are so focused on this relationship with Jared and not your kids. And I thought it was funny that Aaron said, well, if that's what you want to be, like, go over there with him. Aaron is better than me because the minute that Jared came into that party and this fool was crying over him, I would have said, you know what? You have a good night. That's where you want to be, obviously. Like, you just using me as a placeholder. So then Heather is talking to Brittany about her relationship with her kids and basically telling her, girl, you should focus more on your relationship with your kids and less about a man. And I was like, Heather, that is something that you and I can absolutely 100% agree on. I think Brittany should focus on her relationship with her kids and less about the men in her life. But Brittany got offended. I was like, are you serious? Like, this got to be a joke. Where is Ashton Kutcher and the cameras at? Because how are you offended that she is telling you to focus more on your kids and less on the DICK? I don't understand people. I don't understand people who care about intimate relationships with other people, but you are less concerned about the relationships with the kids that you gave birth to. You care so much. Like I've never understood people like that. I'm never going to understand people like that. Like it's really truly the weirdest thing that I've ever saw. Right? I don't get it. Penelope says, "LOL." You know how these women get when you mention their children. I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that she shouldn't get offended about talking about her kids. I'm all here for that. But when somebody's speaking the truth to you and telling you, "Mama, you ain't doing right," by like you had conversations with me about the fact that you put men over your kids, it's like you need to take your own, like listen to what people are telling you. I don't think Heather meant anything bad about it. It's just like, girl, you don't prioritize your kids. Like you don't prioritize your kids. And it's I would say fascinating, but it's not fascinating. It's crazy to me. What's up, D? D says Heather showed the mustiest part of her Ozempic riddled hind parts this episode. She did, but I'll wait until the end because Brittany willingly choosing a man over her daughters at her grown age is wild. It is like I don't get Brittany. I don't get Brittany whatsoever. So this is the scene where I was telling you guys that I fell asleep on it twice, and it involves Brittany. So we see Heather and Angie as they went over to Brittany's home, right? And Brittany felt the way that Angie brought some wine with her. I was like, but girl, you drink. I get that Mormons don't drink, but you ain't a good Mormon to not, because I mean, y'all do a lot on this show. This show, and what is that show that's on Hulu? The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Y'all don't live according to what y'all's religion says, right? So you got in your feelings about that. What I will also say about Brittany is a pick me. I knew that from the jump, but I'm really seeing it even more every episode. Brittany is a pick me. That's all she is a big old pick me. Then Angie and Heather talk, and it's like, Heather. Actually, let's talk about Heather and Angie simultaneously because y'all both full of it. Heather, you're full of it because, girl, you lie for a whole entire season about who gave you that, what happened with that black eye. So, yes, your loyalty, you wiffle waffle with that loyalty. Let's just be real. You wiffle waffle with that loyalty because I still, to this day, don't understand how you were so blindly loyal to that criminal, Jen Shaw, when she called you a manatee, she called you Shrek. That lady talked shit about you and you still defended her. I would have thrown Jen to the wolves. I would have thrown Jen Shaw to the wolves. But again, I didn't like Jen. I didn't like Jen from season one. Ain't never saw it for Jen. Jen didn't see it for me either. Because I know season one for sure. Season one and two, the girls were watching people, so they weren't feeling a lot of people what they were saying. And I didn't care for Jen. Gave Jen the blues every episode that I reviewed of season one and season two. And she had her little fans came for me. I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Pump the brakes. We are only 2 seasons in, and she got a loyal fan base that's attacking people. F out of here. So, Angie, let me get onto you real quick, beloved. You mad that Heather went back and told this conversation that you had with her to Lisa, but you told Whitney the conversation that you and Lisa had. So pot meet kettle, like y'all all doing the same exact thing. Like I don't get y'all, but okay, I'm gonna play along with it. You're upset. I'm gonna play along with it for just a little bit, and that's okay. So after that, we will get to Angie, but let me get to Dee's comment real quick. So Dee says, but she's the same one who tried to play victim when Mary threw that right back in her face. If you if you admit to some BS, do not get upset when you get called on it. Miss me with the tears, please. Exactly. That's part of the reason why I don't like Heather. And it's so interesting. Season 1 and 2, I liked Whitney and Heather, but I fell off with Heather and Whitney. Season 2, that was really when I fell off with them, and it was more so because of that whole stuff with Jenny Wynn. Like I wasn't feeling that stuff, and I wasn't featuring anybody who, like, I wasn't featuring the Jenny Wynn stuff, and it was also the fact that season 2, y'all came for Mary's church when y'all had a woman on this show who committed fraud. The police came to y'all before y'all went on y'all's cast trip looking for said woman, but y'all still attacked Mary. Still don't understand it. Mary is a better person than I could ever be. This show must pay really good because I would have never came back. They must have offered Mary a good amount of money to come back to the show because it wouldn't have been me. So let's talk about Angie real quick. So we see Angie. So she's out with Bronwyn and Whitney, right? So Whitney feels as if the Barlows owe Justin an apology. I absolutely agree with Whitney. The Barlows definitely owe Justin an apology. So Whitney says that Justin got a text message from John, and John wants to meet up with him to have a conversation, right? So then Bronwyn is telling them that now it's not their anniversary, like their wedding anniversary. It's 10 years that they met each other. So not Heather, Bronwyn wants to do a trip with the girls, right? And it's just a couple's trip, but she doesn't want to invite old girl Brittany. I was like, I don't have a problem that you don't want to invite Brittany. I'm cool with it. Again, we don't have to see Brittany anymore. I don't think we're gonna see, like I said, this trip, we're not gonna see Brittany. I think it's gonna be a while before we do see Brittany again. And I think from what I've heard, Brittany gonna come back wanting to start some stuff up. So it is what it is, right? So she's also on the fence about inviting Heather because of the stuff that's going on between she and Heather. And we'll talk about her and Heather in just a little bit, you guys. And this is also a scene where Angie was talking about the stuff with she and Heather, and it's like, Angie, pot meets kettle. You did it to Lisa. Heather did it to you. Like y'all doing it to each other. So I don't understand why you're so upset. You talking about you thought this was a private conversation between the two of you. Well, Lisa thought that was a private conversation between the two of you. And I am defending Lisa Barlow. My God, today I'm defending Lisa Barlow. Never thought I would do it. So while we're on this scene, remember I just told you guys that Justin said that he got a text message from John to meet up, right? So Justin and John, they did meet up. John did apologize for putting his hands on Justin, but then he asked Justin if he feels like he should apologize to Lisa. And I was like, oh, you are just as delusional as your wife is, because what did Justin do that is indicative of him issuing an apology to Lisa? Lisa came at him like the delusions to me. I was so confused, beyond confused, beyond confused. Like, if you guys think that Justin owes Lisa an apology, please let me know in the comment section. What is he apologizing for? I didn't see that Justin did anything wrong. But let's go ahead and wrap up the episode with Bronwyn. Like I said, you guys, I I like Bronwyn. Bronwyn has not done anything that has upset me. Uh D said the way I howled when Brittany talked about how classless and inappropriate bringing wine to her event is, and then Angie whacking her by saying Brittany drinks everywhere she goes. It was too funny to me because I was like, girl, you talking about somebody bringing wine to some Mormons, but girl, you guzzle down everything. And I'm so glad that the producers just showed her drinking the wine. It's like, girl, you drink wine, so what are you talking about? So we see Bronwyn. So Bronwyn and Todd went out on a date, right? And you guys remember that Todd works in New York, right? So she goes and picks him up at the airport wearing an outfit. When they showed her them outfits, I was like, I would be so embarrassed to see her come into to the coming there in those outfits. But I would be appalled. But Todd puts, deals, he puts up with it, right? So they're getting ready to celebrate 10 years since they've actually met each other. And they're going to be going to outside of, damn, where did they say? It's somewhere in it's out there in California. It's outside of Daytona, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I think they're going to a NASCAR thing. They did talk about Gwen, her daughter, and her grandparents. I still have my same stance when it comes to those people. I have the same stance that Todd has. Those people are trash as fuck. It ain't no easy way. It ain't no nice way to say it. Like, this girl is 17, almost 18 years old, and y'all talking about, well, now is a good time to get to know her. No, the good time to get to know your granddaughter was the day she was born. Like, some of y'all let religion take over your lives and control your lives in a way that you do things that are not, I don't think God would approve of. Because I don't understand how you may not like the way that your granddaughter was brought into this world, right? Her parents were unwed, and they were kids. You may not agree with that. Well, let me not say agree with that. You may not like that. That may not be the ideal way for it to happen, but it happened. But to fault the child is crazy to me. And I was here for it. And Braun was talking about that. She's still angry with the parents. You should be. Baby, them parents would have to see me. Literally. See me catch me on the street. Because it's going down. D says, right, bad weather crashed and burned very quickly. They did. That maggot situation with Jenny was trash AF. I had a huge shout out for all of them. I did too, because the thing was, they were going to bring Jenny back, and I still don't understand that. If it wasn't for us black people getting so upset, they would have brought Jenny back. They would have brought a drink. They would have brought Jenny back. And it's the interesting thing with Jenny was Jenny had an issue with Mary, and Mary did nothing to Jenny. Jenny had that issue the whole season with Mary. Then at the season, which I didn't watch this, I didn't watch the season finale, I don't believe, but I do remember seeing a clip of her throwing the glass towards Mary. And it's like, oh, you can get bucked with the black woman, huh? Okay. You can get bucked with everybody, but you can get bucked with the black woman, but nobody else. Cool. D says no one was blinking an eye when Mary got a glass thrown at her. Nah. Imagining going up not only for a criminal, but then a racial terrorist after that. Exactly. And that's why I didn't watch season 3 of Salt Lake City. The way that they handled Mary. Now, y'all know when it comes to Mary, I have no problem with saying that I think Mary is problematic as hell. Because she is. But what happened season 2 to her was 100% wrong. 100%. Y'all attacked her church, and y'all know, if you've been watching, if you go back and watch my season 1 and season 2 reviews of Salt Lake City, I've said what I said about Mary's church. Do I think Mary's church is creepy? A little bit, right? But I also have said I feel that way about all organized religion. I'm not a part of organized religion anymore. I don't believe in it, right? I have my relationship with God, and that's it. I don't need the church for anything. But I also talk shit about the Mormon church. I talk more shit about the Mormon church than I did Mary's church. But it was the fact that they talked about Mary's church when you had a criminal on the show who was saying that she was innocent, knowing damn well she was lying through her teeth, and you had a racist woman who posted all kind of racist MAGA stuff on her Facebook page. But we're gonna attack the black woman with the terrible wig, and that's married to her step grandfather. Okay, I'm still not over that 100%, but it is what it is. So let's get to the end of this episode and where Heather got me lost and fucked up. because Heather really had me fucked up. So, what I will say is, Bronwyn, girl, this house. Oh, this house. It looks like a clown's. It looked like something that a clown would stay at. This light pink in one room. This blue in the kitchen. These sorry, the game sorry. Like, oh my god, that house is horrendous. The decor is horrendous of that house. Then all them dogs you got. And here's the question that I got for you, Brahma, baby girl. I like you. And here's the thing. You and I are we come from two different, backgrounds, right? You's a white woman, I'm a black man. But my question for you is, you let your dogs just do their business in your house? Ugh. I can never. No, 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 no. The dogs don't do their business in the house. You go outside and do it. Because when they showed that it was some feces on the ground, I was like, "Oh, that is so nasty, girl. I would never come to your house." Ooh, looking at that, I'm like, I know that house must not have it may and it may not. But when I see people who have dogs in their house and the dogs just do whatever they want to do around the house, it stinks. I'm not saying that your house stink, Bronwyn, but I'm just saying, do you take your dogs outside to use the bathroom? Because no, ma'am. Heather, you two-faced as hell too. You talking about how you talking about you love the decor of her house, but in your interview, you talking shit about her decor of her house. Keep it real with her, Heather. Tell her this looks like a clown's house. Tell her what you really think. That's why I came with Heather. Heather is two-faced. So Bronwyn and Heather sit down and have a conversation, right? And Bronwyn starts it by saying, you were being messy when it came to going back and telling Whitney what I said, and you changed how it was even presented, right? I was like, okay, I'll give you that. And so she said that when she went back to Angie and told Angie what Heather said, she was just being messy and she apologized for it, right? But Heather can't even be like, you know what? What I told Whitney, maybe I shouldn't have told her. Because I was like, Heather, you were being messy yourself when you went back. You were not looking out for Whitney. You were like, you were being messy when it came to Bronwyn. Because Bronwyn did the thing about Bronwyn is she said it out loud, but she did take it back to Whitney. Now I don't know if I don't think she took everything that she said back to Whitney, but I respect somebody who can say, "Hey, girl, I said this about you. I said that about you," and it is what it is, right? And Heather had egg on her face at that point. But for you to sit here and really make yourself to be a victim, it's like, are you serious? You did it to her. She did it to you. Be like, you know what? Yeah, I was being messy when I went back and told Whitney because I really didn't know you at the time. And I was still trying to get to know you. And here's my thing, Heather. I know what you're going to try to run with. It's the whole, oh, well, Monica was reality Von Teese. Okay, girl, what they got to do with the price of tea in China? Like, Monica's not here. Honestly, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, because I didn't watch it. It came up on my timeline where Carlos King and Megan McCain, they were on a podcast. I guess Megan has a podcast or something like that. Because you guys know Megan is a whole Housewives fan, right? And they were talking about how this season is really good, and everybody last season was thinking like how they gonna top season 4 when Monica came in and Monica shook shit up, right? I honestly do think that they should bring Monica back. I think Monica could come back. I would like to see Monica back on this show. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but I would. Um, D says you could not pay me enough money to appear on national television with dog waste all over my house. Exactly. That was so nasty. That lets me know it happens all the time because she didn't even think to hide it. She didn't even it didn't even think to hide it. It's the fact that she didn't even pick it up. I was like, oh, this is nasty. You said that reminds me of when Kyle had her dogs leaping and jumping over everyone in her backyard while they were trying to eat. That is my thing with Kyle's dogs are just rambunctious. Kyle has some rambunctious ass dogs. You said how many people to have some decorum with their pets, or I'll be staying home. Exactly. Penelope says, "What?" But yeah, ugh. And then she had what also threw me with Brahma was the fact that she had some some little food that she had spread out, and the dog was sniffing around the food. Oh, you know what, girl, I don't want nothing at all. Not with your dog sniffing around it. That is nasty. Like, again, here's the thing. I love animals. I love dogs. I'm a dog guy. I love dogs. But the dogs in my family, they know better. You don't come around us. You don't come around you don't come around the food. You don't go in the kitchen. And when you see us eating, you don't. Well, let me take this back. Because I say you don't. When you see us eating, you don't try to eat with us, right? My cousin's dog, she doesn't try to eat with us, but she is greedy, and she'll stare at you. She will stare at you until you tell her to move, and she will move because she doesn't unless which I fed her once before, and never again because she got sick when I fed her. But she definitely will come. She will look at you with her big puppy dog eyes. She'll look at you, and it's like, no, ma'am, you know better. And so she'll go away and wait for you to finish eating, and then she'll come back around you for you to just pet on her. But when I saw her dog sniffing that food, I was like, okay, Brahma, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. But Heather, you're doing the most for me. You were like, oh, so you just brought me here so you could tell me that I'm not going on a trip. No, Heather, that's not what she was doing. What Bronwyn was actually doing was she was bringing you there to apologize for what she's done to you, and hopefully you would then apologize to her, and y'all can move forward. But then Heather's like, well, you know what? I'm feeling uncomfortable, and I just want to go. I was like, bye, Karen. By Karen, because you've been a Karen to another white woman, but it's like goodbye. Like, I hate people who can't take accountability for things that they've done. That's my biggest pet peeve is somebody who can't take accountability. That's why I feel how I feel about Karen, the real Karen on Potomac. It's like, I know you can't talk about your legal case, but girls, you can talk about some of the stuff that you did because everything is not alleged with your case. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Great episode of Salt Lake City. Like I said, next week's episode looks like it's gonna be even better than this week's episode because they're going on the cast trip. And for Seth to say booyah or tada biatch to Angie's husband, because I guess Angie's husband said something about Brooks. I was like, Brooks. Oh God, speaking of Brooks, you guys know that it's gonna be a show on Bravo coming soon with Brooks, Gia, Teresa's daughter from New Jersey, Kim's daughter. Is it? No, it's not Brielle. It's the other one that I can never remember her name. It's the one under Brielle, and then Riley and some other kids. They're gonna have a show coming to Bravo. I don't know when that show is coming. I don't really have much intentions of watching that show because none of those kids to me are interesting. Even Riley, as much as I love Riley and Candy, Riley ain't that interesting to me. This is just my personal opinion, but the other one's definitely in it because I can't remember Kim's other daughter's name. I cannot remember Kim's other daughter's name, so she definitely ain't interesting to me. Who else did I say? Brooks. Brooks is just as monotone as his mama. It just as monotone as his mama. Here's a question: if anybody knows this answer, Brooks, because I remember season 1 and 2 of Salt Lake City, where they were talking about Brooks's sexuality. I think Jen had tweeted something about Brooks's sexuality, and Meredith mentioned, she was like, "Well, he hasn't, he didn't come out yet." And I was like, "He didn't come out yet." I was like, no offense to you, Meredith, but I think it's obvious as daylight that Brooks is gay. No offense to him, but just let me know, did Brooks ever come out according to Meredith? Because I mean, I think the people already knew that, but okay. Thank you, Penelope. So yeah, you guys, that is it. If there's anything that I did miss, not yes, obvious. Yeah, it was pretty obvious. But I mean, I got where Meredith was coming from. I got where Meredith was coming from because it was offensive. It was rude coming from Jen of all people. Anyways, that's why I said I never saw for that lady. I ain't never saw for Jen from season one. I ain't never saw for that woman. It was something about her that just didn't sit right in my spirit. And it was the fact that she always, that was what really set me off with Jen. It was the fact that she always tried to police Mary's blackness. It's like, man, you just married to a black man. You are not black. Oh, that I couldn't stand that lady. Okay. So they said he came out. Okay, cool. Because I was just wondering. I was like, has Brooks came out yet? Because I mean, I think it was obvious to everybody who was watching that Brooks was gay. But you know, we were gonna let Meredith live in her delusional land, thinking that her son was straight or whatever she was thinking. But okay, he came out. Yeah, you guys, that is all we got for Salt Lake City. Like I said, another good episode. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, and until the next time, you guys stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the season finale of The Real Housewives of Orange County. I'm really sad about that. That is ending. The reunion trailer is out. So if you guys have not saw the reunion trailer, go check it out. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.